Welcome back to the Backcountry PA podcast. You got myself, Cody, and on this one here, it was myself and my brother-in-law sitting in the studio. This was recorded back in February. This one is all about filming. So we don't necessarily get into the nitty-gritty of how to set up, what shots you need to get, all that kind of stuff, because we did a whole series on that last summer. But this was my first full season of really self-filming in general. I forced myself to remember to take my stuff out and to actually physically, even though I was drained and that I was tired, I made sure I took the stuff out every single sit with me. It was always out there. Even when times when it was rough, like when I shot the buck and I couldn't recover him the next day, I didn't necessarily want to take it out, but I took the camera and I took the GoPro out with me. I ended up not setting up. I just wasn't in the right mindset to be out there hunting in general. After hitting that buck, not being able to recover him, now I found out that he's still alive, so that's a huge weight off my shoulders. But this episode here, we talk about pretty much my first full season of self-filming. So we talk about that. We talk about also Danny is, if you're wondering why is Danny on the podcast when he's not in hunting at all, it's because he has a lot of knowledge on filming in general. He films for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down in Florida in the NFL. So this is his 6th season now in the NFL. So he's a vet. I mean, if you think about it, we actually talked about it in the episode. Most NFL players only last the average 4 years. So him being in it for 6 years, he has 1 Super Bowl ring already. Yeah, he doesn't play, but he has been on the team. He's been to a Super Bowl already, so that's freaking awesome. I mean, seeing the ring is really cool itself. So to know that in my family now that I'm in my wife's family side, he's my brother-in-law, so he's my brother, to know that there's a Super Bowl ring in my family, it's kind of freaking cool to think about. So that was cool. So we talk about that. We drink whiskey in this one, so we almost kill a bottle of Bird Dog whiskey in this one. He wanted to do a Joe Rogan type podcast, so this is going to be broken up into 2 parts. This first part is us just talking about nerding out on filming gear, our thoughts on filming in general. We have some good discussion on YouTube, and I get brutally honest with certain things about how I feel about certain parts of it, and my mindset of why I do certain things or why I take a certain route instead of following in the what's popular, what's not popular, or whatever, or trying to get my name out there more. But we talk about that. We talk about there's actually a really good part of this one that really kind of opened my mind and kind of changed my mindset a little bit as well. We talk about how subscribers on YouTube and followers on Instagram, how that's such a driving part of why people do it right now, of okay, if I don't hit this by this time frame, I'm just going to stop because I didn't hit my mindset. I'm not making money. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But if you really take a step back and think about it, if you're in your house and you're doing a podcast, you're doing a video, and you do a showing, a release showing, a special drop for a video that you're going to put out. If you have the amount of followers you have or the amount of subscribers you have in your house watching that film with you, or however many people you have watch that film on your YouTube channel, if you had, let's say you're a new YouTube channel and you start out, if you put that video out there, you get, let's say if 100 views, right? Your first video gets 100 views. You're disappointed by that because you're looking at everyone else thinking man, all these other guys that have kind of the same content as me are getting this many views. Why am I not getting that view? But if you take a step back from that and really look at it from a 1,000-foot spectrum here and look down, and it's you have 100 views. If there's 100 people in your house right now with you watching that film, how freaking good would that feel to watch that video with those 100 people right there, that you're wow, this is pretty cool to have 100 people here watching this video with me. If you think about it that way, it changes your whole mindset of looking at those numbers and looking at the likes and looking up the views and the comments and all that kind of stuff. It changes your whole mindset. So we have a really good discussion about that. That was just a quick synopsis of what that was. But it's a really good conversation. And then part 2, obviously, will drop. I think I'm going to drop it I might just drop it the next Monday. So these two will be back-to-back weeks now. I don't know if we're going to stick to every other week because we have so many built up right now that I want to, come season, I want to be able to actually do season updates and all that kind of stuff and not have episodes that were recorded in the springtime playing during the season. But little housekeeping for this episode. Obviously, we are presented by XOP. Love the products, love the gear. We just had Brock on actually to talk all about the new products that are coming out. So stay tuned for that. It's going to drop the same exact day that the products drop. So as soon as those products drop, as soon as I get that text from Brock saying, "Hey, you can release the podcast and the video," we're going to drop it. Lots of new stuff coming. Lots of exciting new stuff. I had my hands on some of the stuff in Ohio, as well as Ethan had some of the stuff in his hands in Ohio as well in early October. Really, really phenomenal stuff they came out with this year. And also, I want to let you guys know that actually I am going to be giving away my own XOP Rubicon stand and 4X2s, a Gamma pack, 2 J-hooks, all the gear straps you need, the seat cushion for on the Rubicon, Deer Hunter synthetic scrape system, an orange hat, and a beanie. And then also you're going to get a Campco Euro mount kit at the Lebanon Archery Indoor Bigfoot Festival on June 14th. We are going to be having a booth there. The only way you can enter to win all that stuff right there, possibly more, not sure yet, is by coming to the Lebanon Indoor Archery Bigfoot Festival. June 14th, it's 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come out, check us out. Swing by, fill out a ticket. You have to be subscribed to our channel on YouTube. And then you'll be entered to win that by the end of the show. So that's going to be really exciting to have a whole booth set up. I have flags. I have all this kind of stuff ordered to do that. We're going to be doing podcasts there with anyone who wants to swing in, tell a story, share a funny story, drop some tips and tactics maybe if they want to talk that. Really, whatever comes up at that show is going to be cool. Like, it's going to be videoed. It's going to be all this kind of stuff. It's going to be a fun time. A long day, but it's going to be fun. And then obviously Deer Hunter synthetic, or also right now it's called DH3 from the Deer Hunter podcast. Kevin over Deer Hunter podcast messaged us and was like, "Hey, we liked your stuff. Want to see if you want to work together." So we're working together with them. Really good stuff. It's very strong, so that's one really good thing. Using a few scrapes right now. I'm about to go out and actually do a little turkey hunting probably this Friday. Now that I'm recording this, it is May 21st. So on this Friday coming up, I'm going to be going out turkey hunting for the evening because now you can hunt the evenings here in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to go out there and try and hopefully roost a bird, or I have a few cameras that I want to move or replace the batteries in to try and, have a better place because they're a really nice community scrape that I want to make sure I hang a camera over and make sure I have a good picture of it and get maybe a better area or a better angle of where I'm going to be putting it this year. So going to be definitely doing that. Taking the shotgun with me. If I can get on a bird, I'm going to try and get him. I don't really have high hopes, don't really have the drive to keep trying to get a turkey if I can't hear one or, feel like I can get him into me. Deer Age, make sure you go check him out. Okay. This is pretty cool. So the 6-point that I got this year, he was a 3.5-year-old buck. Very nice buck. I'm happy with him in my eyes, but looking at him, I would have not guessed 3.5. I probably would have guessed like maybe 4.5 just because of the size of the mass of his antlers. And the body size kind of too, but also I'm looking at it now like 3.5. That kind of makes sense for where it was and, the terrain and the other big deer that I have on camera. It makes sense that he was 3.5. But all you have to do is you send in the front 2 bottom teeth and you send them in. But if you go to deerage.com or Wildlife Labs on Instagram, go over there, use our code BackcountryPA, and that'll save you 10% off on all your orders. You can order even a kill kit too, which I used. Ethan has used in Ohio. If you go check out Ohio video, he uses a Deer Age kill kit in there. Campco, use code BCPA10. That'll get you 10% off an order. Also, if you buy our hats that are on the website there, which we have a camo hat. We have a black flat brim hat with, actually, it's pretty cool. The leather patches camo. So we have that there. A black and gray one as well with a leather patch on it. If you go and buy a hat, $3 from each hat goes to a conservation effort of the winner's choice. So once you buy a hat, you get entered into a drawing. You pick then whoever you want to donate the money to. And then we have OnX too. Just go check them out. Use their maps. There's a bunch of other people that have discount codes for them, so just go check them out. But this episode is really fun. It's a really good episode. It's great conversation in studio with Danny Beeck. Hope you guys enjoy, and remember to keep hunting, keep fishing, and always enjoy the stream process. See you.
There we go.
There
Okay.
we go. Yeah. Over.
Welcome back to the Backcountry PA podcast. You got Cody?
I was problems.
This is not Ethan. This is Danny.
Yeah, I'm not Ethan.
Nope. You if you might not know who Danny is.
Yeah.
He was on over the summer.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it was like July. Was it July? June, July, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
It was early summer.
Yeah.
Early summer.
Yeah, for the self-filming series we had you on for that to pretty much critique everyone else's videos along with give your tips for filming because you filmed for the NFL.
Yeah.
So you still film for the NFL, obviously.
Yep.
But Danny came up for our daughter, me and my wife's, who's also in the studio right now, underneath the camera. You can't see her.
Unpictured.
She's laying on the couch. But you came up for her birthday and the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And mainly the Super Bowl, right?
It was
mainly.
Well, it was a two-for trip. Huh? Two.
Ah, twofer.
Oh yeah, two for the
Twofer.
people. Yeah, two
Twofer.
for the people. No, yeah, but for sure. What are you saying?
I think that went over his head.
Yeah. Oh, we're back. We are so back. I'm with you now. It went so far above my head.
So far above. It was like
absolutely,
a boomerang on that one.
Absolutely. It was a slow burn. We got there. We got there eventually.
Sure.
Yeah. So I came up here and
Yep.
yeah, I feel like and going back a little bit too, when we were critiquing those things, I definitely don't feel like I have any sort of knowledge to be like, oh, you could have done this differently. Like, it's such a different world, and like I'm no dummy to that. So like my opinion, take it or leave it. Like, it's just what I kind of like my brain. How that
But
works.
I mean, there was people that were very thankful that you did that because it's from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
For them, like that's why we're going to critique one of my videos.
Yeah.
We're going to watch another video from In the Presence, Lane,
Sweet.
who was on here before.
Yeah.
You watch his videos. He was the one that was very thankful that you critiqued his. Like he was like, that's pretty cool that you did that.
I love it.
So
Love it.
and you were honest. You were brutally honest, and that's what I
Yeah.
want you to do for mine.
Yeah.
So and for Lane's.
Yeah.
But before that, we're gonna be cracking open some whiskey.
Heck yeah.
Because Danny was like, "Hey, let's do like a Joe Rogan type podcast and do
Slow
a
burn.
3 hour
Talk about slow burn. This is gonna be
3 hour podcast." So we went and bought some Bird Dog honey flavored whiskey.
Yeah.
It's 80 proof and it's 40% alcohol.
Yeah.
So we'll crack it open and I guess try it.
Yeah. There was a few on the shelf. We were
Yeah.
looking at like blackberry, and we're looking at
Which apparently is also very good.
we were thinking that this one's a little bit less sweet.
Yeah, we didn't want to wake up with one of those
Sugar hangovers.
sugar hangovers or like feel, oh, this one has a cork in it, dude.
Oh yeah, a small little cork.
Yeah.
It's like a wine bottle.
I
Do
didn't
you get your
realize
wine opener, or go without that? No wine opener needed. Yeah.
Do it just twist it.
No, you just pop it out. It'll make a Yeah, I was gonna say it'll make
I should have did that next.
I know, next to the mic. Yeah, do it again. One more.
Oh, ASMR.
After you, no, yeah. Oh yeah, do it.
Oh, okay.
Do it. That sounds so sick. It sounded like you poured a metric ton of whiskey in your glass. Everybody that's listening, that sounded like he poured so much. And he didn't. I know, but it was like...
It just took forever.
Crazy. That was unreal. These mics are crazy.
Hey, cheers, buddy.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
I'm not going to shoot it. Imagine I just knock it all back.
Yeah, next one. I mean, if it's really good.
It's amazing.
Oh,
incredible.
Yeah, that's gone tonight.
Incredible.
That's gone tonight.
Can't wait. You want to look for brutally honest reviews? Watch about hour 2:30.
Yeah,
go skip ahead.
Yeah, what I have on here, those are last.
Okay.
So I mean, we're gonna be.
I've just screwed up this mic royally.
I did give Ethan the crappier mic.
Well,
so it.
I got it. We're here. We're back. I just have to adjust it just a little baby bit.
Okay. All right. All right. So first, I kind of want to dive into you because you went through a whole NFL season again.
Yeah.
How many years has it been now?
I just finished my 6th NFL season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
It's longer than most other actual people that play.
Yeah, I mean, most people in the NFL, what's the average? Like 4 years at most, is the average?
Yeah.
So you've been in the NFL longer than some athletes.
Big deal. I just haven't put my body on the line, so I feel like that helps me out just a little baby bit.
A little bit.
But
so this season, what did you learn from this season? Because we always try and, as hunters, we try and figure out what we learned, gain knowledge from that kind of stuff. Even for filming, we try and what can we improve on too. So what did you feel like I guess some of your failures from this season, and then also what did you learn from those that you're going to take in next season? Yeah,
that's a great film review almost, right? I think as corny as it sounds, this year our crew is pretty small. We have a very small staff. I think we have 5 full-time video producers, and then we have an intern. And something unique that we've done probably the last few years is we have a rotation. So we have a person that shoots mic'd up. We have a person that shoots highlights. We have a person that holds the boom pole over the bench, so we get that sideline sound. And then my boss shoots sideline, basically just the camera for that mic or the mic for that, whatever it is. So we have a rotation of different things that people do. And I think that kind of itches that spot in your brain where every time you go into a game, you have a different role. So going into it, it's like, cool, I've seen something that the Eagles did, or I see something, that's just top of mind. If you see something that the Chiefs do on the sideline, and you're like, sick, I'm going to try to do that this game. Or I'm going to frame this shot pregame a different way because my brain is fresh. You don't get in that rhythm of doing the same thing every single week. And I think to switch this back over to hunting, it's like, cool, I'm going to look at stuff that I did 2 years ago, and I was like, this is really cool. I shot this on an iPhone. Now I have a proper camera. Now I have a GoPro that's a little bit better quality, and I can do that same shot. Yep. So it's not necessarily changing your whole idea of something. It's just kind of retraining your brain to be like, I can do this in a different way, and it can still be just as effective, or it can be just as impactful, I think, in the end. So that's what I kind of did this year. I switched. I did a bunch of different roles. I did a lot of mic'd ups on the road, which that's mind numbing. It's like you're following somebody on the field. We were just talking about the wild card game that we played against the Commanders, and I didn't really watch the game. I was watching one person's view of the game. Yeah. Or my view was one person's game. Yeah. So you don't really see the whole thing. Yep. Which I thought that was kind of interesting.
To me, that would be, for me as a football fan, and you're a football fan too. So watching one single person the whole time, it's like you kind of just want to man, what's going on?
I know.
Kind of look away.
I just jumped. Did you see my face? That thing said psych.
Everyone who's just listening.
I wasn't talking at the moment.
the mic dropped on there. I think you got to tighten this up.
Yeah, you got it. Oh, heck yeah. We're back in business, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. You know,
I can't
fixing
wait.
on the fly.
No, here we go.
Fixing on the fly. So, like, but watching one individual person
Yeah.
would be, to me, not doing it for a career. I'd be like, man, I want to watch the game. I want to watch what's going on. Like, I want to watch this 54 the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to watch everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that to me would be the boring position, right?
It
like,
is.
It,
It
like
is.
to
It
do,
is.
Mike, like you said, it's mundane. It's mind numbing.
Yeah.
It's like you do this, you do that, you just watch one single person. But like,
Yeah.
what? I might have interrupted you with where you're going with
You're
that,
good.
but
You're good.
what did you like of all those positions? Which one is like your favorite, and which one is your worst? Like, which one do you think you need to improve on?
Yeah, I think highlights is always one that like they rely so much on that. Like, we're not only making highlights for social media, we're not only making highlights for like in stadium stuff. You're documenting. It sounds so corny to say this out loud, but it's like you're documenting history.
Yeah.
Like when you look back and say, cool, the Rams played the Bucks in a playoff game in 2021, right? What happened in that game? You're going to go back to the footage. You'll see some in-game stuff. You'll see some high angles from inside the stadium. You'll see all those things, but it's like I'm documenting something that you're going to look back on and be like, that's what happened in the game.
Yeah.
You saw it through my camera, but it's my movements. It's my position. It's if I was lazy that game, was I in position for that shot? Did I even get the shot? Did I record on the camera? Like all of those things that go into it. And I think just recently I've started to be, you know, at week 15, week 16, you could easily be like, I've been doing this for so long. Like, I'm going to get the play. Like, I don't have to try as hard. I don't have to walk to the other side of the field to get the shot. I'm just going to stay in one spot and shoot the same play. Like, I've shot it for the last 15 weeks. It's like, no, like breaking that brain, you know, that mechanism in your brain that's just like, I'm just going to do it because I've always done it that way. It's like trying to retrain your brain and think like, cool, no, I have an obligation, not only to me, but also like, it's like I said, it sounds so corny to be like to the organization, like all of those things. But yeah, so that's fine.
You kind of like have, because like you said, it's a part of history at that moment. Like, because you never know that player that you're videotaping, you're miking up. Yeah. We'll use Levante David for instance, because like he could possibly be a Hall of Famer at one point, right?
Yeah. He could have retired after the game.
Yeah, he could have. Like, and that could be his last game. That could be his last moment, his last tackle, whatever. Like, I mean, it's very relatable to hunting in that sense because you never know when the last time you're going to go out is. You never know when the last deer you're going to shoot is, right? Like, so like to document it or just to be there in the moment and just be all encompassing, remembering everything. Yeah, it's very similar in itself because you have NFL films, right? Like they can go back years and years and years and put these films together. Like the one I forget which one they did one on Aaron Rodgers, right? That was on Netflix. Yeah. So like that one, they have like old footage from like, if there wasn't if there wasn't a Danny Beeck filming Aaron Rodgers in his rookie season when he's sitting the fucking bench. Yeah. That would never be there. 100%. So it's crazy to me because like, oh, excuse me.
I just burped at the same time. Jesse said get all the burps out too, and you know, here we are.
But like
we're here.
To think about like there's someone out there just recording just some rookie who might not even play ever in his career. Yeah. But yet you never know. You never know. I'm trying to think of a player who wasn't like Arian Foster. Yeah. He was undrafted. He's a really good player. He might not make it in the Hall of Fame, but he was good. Yeah.
Kurt Warner.
Antonio Brown.
Kurt Warner, yeah.
Antonio Brown, drafted in the 6th round, right? Yeah. Best example, Tom fucking Brady, right? Yeah. Drafted last pick, Mr. Irrelevant.
He was 199. Yeah. He was 6th round 199. I don't know if he was Mr. Irrelevant, but he was 6th round 199.
Brock Purdy.
Another great example.
Could be
another great example.
Could be nothing, could be something, right? Yep. But like Tom Brady, 199, drafted 6th round, had Drew Bledsoe in front of him. Yep. Never in a million years was he projected to be a playing. No. Let alone take his team to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. Yeah. His rookie season. It's like, but there was someone watching him. Yeah. Like, because you look at the NFL films and you look at the films they put out, there was someone watching him even when he's on the sidelines, listening to Drew Bledsoe. It's insane to me because like, as an NFL fan, you don't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And like for me too, like I'd watch NFL film stuff all the time, and I just assume like, cool, they're the overlords, you know, like they capture everything, and they still do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of younger talent in it now, which, you know, hypes me up. It's like sick. Those are, you know, my not competition, but it's like those are my people. Like those are the people that I strive to be. It's my, you know, my level of, you know, shooting. Obviously I'm not saying that I'm NFL films worthy, but I'm just saying that like it's people my age, it's people that put in a lot of work. You know, I look up to them and I aspire to be them. Before, those were like 40 or 50-year-olds, and they're shooting on film, legitimate film. So the whole game is changing. But I mean, like back to your point, talking about hunting, it's like all of those moments. Like I think of you when you went to your family in your hunting cabin. Like you're documenting, you know, family history too. Like your dad and your grandpa. Like all those moments and those in between moments. And I think it's very vlog style. I think, and it can be vlog style because it's raw. It's real emotion. It's, you know, you're capturing things that you can only experience. You only see. It's not like all these other hunters out there are experiencing everything that you're experiencing. So I think that that's the part that I think is a little bit more unique about hunting and about like documenting in this space is a completely different style. And that's why I was saying more so of me critiquing things. It's like, I don't know what goes into it. Yeah. Like I was asking you about trail cams. Like I don't know what goes into those things, and like the readers and all those other things. Like I don't know all of that. So I feel like I understand that I was brought on in like just a different viewpoint, and I appreciate that. And you know, it doesn't go unnoticed by me, but it's like, I turn around and I look at this space and I'm like, I'm interested in that space. I know my space, right? Like I know what I know about my space. And then I look at this space and it's so new. It's like a new avenue. It's how people are ingesting that stuff, what they're interested in ingesting. Cause I know like football is watched by how many millions of viewers?
Billions.
So it's like, but this is a specialized field where if you know, you know. If you don't, like, you're seeking out this information. And even if you do know, it's like, cool, I'm going to add different things to my tool belt. Somebody does some things a little bit differently. Or somebody skins a squirrel and whatever. Like, all of those things. I say that just because of the fact that it's like, there's so many different ways to achieve this in this space or achieve, you know, interesting and, you know, ingestible content in this space. But people have seen it done so many thousands of times in football. And I think like that's what fires me up about this field in particular.
Well, for like to what you're saying about like the different ways you can shoot and all that kind of stuff. Like, if you look at football, you look at the NFL, the NBA, the NCAA, the NHL, you know, all those big sports, they're pretty much shot in the same way. You can go to game and it's shot the same way. Like there's a standard for how it's shot because 100%. It's a big corporation, right? Like, but hunting, there's no bigger corporation.
It's a framework,
Yeah, it's pretty much a game commission. Yeah. Like you have to do it legally, obviously.
Right.
But like, yeah, I mean, in the NFL, you have to follow standards. Like you can't really, I'm sure there's ways you can experiment, like with social media or YouTube, the YouTube channel, like the video you made for Mike Evans. Yeah. Like there's ways to go about that. But in hunting, like you said, like there's no real written, okay, this is what you got to do. Yeah. This, you got to get this shot, you got to get this shot, you got to get this shot. The main point of, I mean, for the self-filming series particularly, and what we're talking about here is like the main points you got to do as a filmer in general. Like if you're trying to make a story, which I think, from my point of view, is the best way to go about it, because like it's like you need to have a beginning, middle, and end. You got to have that hook. The hook is the biggest part, and like for YouTube, primarily because we're only sticking to YouTube, like Outdoor Channel and Sportsman's Channel and all these other hunting outdoor channel TV programs. Yeah. They do have those standards. Yeah. So like you could look at theirs like, okay, you got to make sure you get these shots here because this is what we require for our program. Yeah. But then you go to YouTube, it's like for the first 3 minutes you got to hook someone. Yeah. You got to hook them in. Like that's where you got to have that hook. Like then you can all of a sudden you can go into the story side of things. Like that's the kind of like the quote unquote YouTube standard, right? Yeah. But yet you don't have to follow that. However you want to hook them in the very beginning is how you want to hook them. Yeah. And I find that the most intriguing part because there's so many YouTube videos out there that like I found a few recently where it's just like, man, like it took me a little bit to get like them, put it that way. Yeah. So sometimes you got to give them a chance, like, but man, it's just so interesting to me. All the YouTubers, and I'm just sticking with hunting right now because that's primarily what I want to watch.
Absolutely.
But like all those different hooks that they have.
Yeah. And
like it's different across the board.
It is different across the board. And I think as much as like it's easy to say that like there's standards for like different leagues to a point, yes. Dang, you're down in that stuff. Holy smokes. You think it's good, huh?
It is good.
I think it's good, but geez, I can't keep up. It's as much as there is like quote unquote like standards, it's almost standards for a viewer. Like we think we know how to process or like, cool, I'm going to see Jalen Hurts throwing a ball.
Or we can do it better, something like that, right?
Yes, but more so of like, you see Jalen Hurts drop back, it's the close, tight shot. He's cocking his arm back and he's throwing. Then you see the zoom in on the ball. You see the laces zoom in on the ball.
Yep.
And then you see it coming closer. It zooms out and you see A.J. Brown catching the ball in the end zone, whatever. We see those things. Those are maybe the quote unquote standards that we're used to seeing. There's not like a checklist like, hey, you have to get this shot like this way, this way, this way, this way. And there's not really even like social media. You're going to make this into a reel. You're going to make this into a short. You're going to make this a full length YouTube. You're going to make this 16:9. You're going to make this 4:5. You're going to make like all the dimensions and things like aspect ratios. There's not necessarily those type of standards. But as a viewer, you kind of know how to interpret something that's happening on the field. And I think where hunting differs, everybody's experience is different. Like you go out into the woods, you bike into the woods, right? Some people might park their car on the side of the road and they might walk in. Some people might walk out their back porch and they have a tree stand, however long, 100 yards.
100, it depends. If it's in your backyard, it can be like 150. It could literally be in your backyard.
Right. So
like you said, everyone's different. Yeah.
Everybody's different. So I think as much as it's easy to say like those standards still exist, across discipline or across whatever, it is different for everybody. And I think that's what makes it fun. That's what makes these YouTube videos. That's why you want to click on them, right?
Yeah.
Like if I see a video and I'm like, dang, this person shot it all on an iPhone, right? Or like this person shot everything on a GoPro. It's like everything is different. And I think that's where this space is unique in that regard. And that's why breaking down those things were awesome because everybody shoots things differently. Like how much you want to put your money, money where your mouth is, or if you want to, just document it. Like if you just want to show what you got and how you got it, like that stuff is interesting to me.
And I think the one thing that I didn't really realize it until literally this moment when you just were talking about that, and I was thinking about it. Those guys that we hit on, they all shot with like high quality cameras. So like you said, you don't need the most expensive thing. And I want to get into that because like I feel like a lot of I've seen like I'm on a self-filming hunter self-filming page. Yeah. Like you see a lot of people like getting on there asking all these questions. Yeah. No one really wants to give them an answer, and then all of a sudden they buy the most expensive, or they buy what they think is a good camera that they would be easy to use, right? And then they turn around next year and they're selling it because it's just too much, right? And I think there's ways like how I got into it may have been that way, right? But I think it's all about mindset. So if you go into it with like, okay, I'm going to do this no matter what. Like I'm gonna take this out with me every single hunt. I'm gonna put it in the tree every single time. I'm gonna set it up every single hunt because you never know when it's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Right. But like when you start doing that and you start going out there really far, you start putting all these miles in. You have heavy pack. You have all this stuff. Like it wears you down.
Absolutely.
Right. So like you don't need for example the camcorder. You don't need that. A Canon, that's a Sony AX33. It's not the newest Sony, but it's not the oldest either. Right. So like you can do, like you said, use a cell phone. Yeah. Use anything. Cell phones do amazing videos. Like absolutely. I have a 13. Yeah. It would still capture amazing videos.
Yeah. 100%.
Audio would be great. It's called a small rig. I think it's called.
Yep.
And you can just put it on here. You can put the boom mic on top there, or you can use these lavalier mics. Yeah. I call them lapel mics.
Yeah, the same thing. They're the same. It's like it's on your lapel pin. Yeah.
I'm trying to be professional here.
Hey, I'm with it. I'm with it.
But like they have so many options. Like, you would spend more for a camcorder. right?
Yeah.
So I bought that one used. It was like $500.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So small rig, I think I don't know how much they're like, maybe $300 for like small rig, completely perfect for your phone.
Right.
And then you buy the shotgun mic, you buy lavalier mic, you buy whatever, right? An external charger to charge your phone while it's there.
Yep.
So
is it this guy right here?
So that is an external charger that you could do it, but I would, if you're doing that with your phone, I would recommend maybe something a little smaller, like something that's thinner. That they have thinner ones.
Yeah.
You don't need something that's going to be this. This is for a heated vest that I have.
Okay.
So like, I use it to charge my GoPro and even my camcorder when I have it plugged in if I need it plugged in.
Yeah.
But now I have multiple batteries, which is something that I would highly recommend no matter what. So if you're getting into self-filming, like say, Danny, let's say you're getting into self-filming. Let's set you up for self-filming. Let's get you out in the field because you want to start filming your own hunts, right?
Right.
I would highly recommend using your phone. What phone do you have?
The 15 Pro.
Yeah, so you would be perfectly fine for filming.
Yeah.
Like you put an OtterBox or you put a small rig case on that, you're good, right?
Yeah.
You have the boom mic. I would recommend a boom mic over lavaliers 100 out of 100.
Yeah.
Because you're going to pick up everything around you and it's going to be better. You can still talk into that. Now, for second angle, you don't need to run a second angle. Like, there's nothing in the writing that says you got to run second angle. But if you want to, it's a good option, right? Like, in case you can't get it on your phone. You forget to press record. You double tap, like I did this year, with a buck that I put in the recover. It was literally fucking perfect. Like, I double tapped it. Like, it was bad.
It's the worst. That happens with everything though, so you can't even beat yourself up.
Have you had that where you double tap?
Really? Yes. There's a producer. I don't want to put him out there, but there's a producer that double tapped on a Mike Evans touchdown the first game of the season.
No.
The first game of the season. He was trying to get something different. Alec, I love you. He was trying to get something of like different of Baker walking into the huddle and like breaking that down and breaking the huddle down. And right when he got to the line of scrimmage, he was like, "Said hut." Press record again and didn't get the touchdown. And it was he was saying that it's like his best touchdown that he's got all year from like start to finish, like covering wise. It was right to him. But that happens. You can't beat yourself up about it. And like, anyways, keep going with your.
But like, so that's actually a good point because like I felt like complete like. So I after I shot the buck that I couldn't recover, I FaceTimed my wife, your sister, and I was like, I don't think I pressed record. So like, I was disappointed about that. But then I also thought I had a dead buck at the end of that. So like, I wasn't that upset, right? But then you don't have it at the end, and then you don't know where the arrow actually entered. You just know what your visual was at a time. Yeah. So like, that's a huge positive I think of self-filming and filming in general.
Absolutely.
Is you get to see where you actually hit, where you what was the reaction, where he ran off, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
there's advantage. There's advantages.
Huge
for sure.
Huge advantage. Sure. But yeah, so second angle, I would recommend. Now you don't have to get a GoPro 10. You don't have to get the new GoPro 13, 12, whatever, 11.
Yeah, that's what that is.
This is a 10. But I would recommend a 5. Like honestly, 5s they shoot in 4K, which your phone can shoot in 4K as well. Yeah. So if you have an iPhone 15, you have a GoPro. Let's say I showed you a saddle hunting, hybrid hunting today, right? So on your tether that goes around the tree, what I always do is I put this on my tether, so it's always looking at me. No matter if I swing, it's moving literally with me at all times because that tether moves with me. So you don't need to put anything else around that tree. You just have this mounted right there. The audio is obviously not going to be great on the GoPro 5.
But if you have audio on something else, you can sync it up. And
Exactly. Or you can do a voiceover. Yeah. Like there's options there. Yeah. I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you, but it's some kind of clip I bought off Amazon.
Does the job.
It's solid like a rock. I mean, And then I always keep this cover off on the GoPro, just so I can literally plug this in.
All right.
The only bad part is
weather and anything. You're good.
Inclement weather. I don't think I'd want to run this because with it getting there, you ruin the GoPro 5.
Yeah, 100%.
But yet, you're not spending a ton of money on the GoPro 5. You're literally spending. I think I can buy one of these for like $60 on a used site, and it'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah,
and be back rolling again.
I think it's also like what you want to put into it. I think with anything else, it's like if you want to put, a big rig into it, or if you want to put like a decent amount of money into it. I mean, granted, like you're walking out into the woods with what I'm gonna cautiously say like $5,000 worth of equipment.
So we'll run through it. So used Sony,
Yeah,
500.
yeah.
All right.
Not just camera equipment. I'm talking like all equipment.
Yeah.
I'm talking like gun. I'm talking about harnesses. I'm
yeah,
talking about tree stands.
You're being very gracious with 1,000.
Oh, I know I said 5,000.
Oh, 5,000. I wouldn't say. No, I wouldn't say 5,000.
$3,000, $2,000.
Bow was $400.
Huh.
Arrows. I mean, I would say at least 2,000.
At least 2,000. So like
I would say at least $2,000 in everything.
So I understand. Like if you already have a phone, like kit your phone out.
Yep.
And that's what we talked about before. It's like with everything, right? If you want to put effort into it, like then you will. Like if you want to put money into it, then you will. But I think at the same time too, it's like if you don't want to, like don't stress yourself out. Like don't stretch yourself or stress yourself over something like this. Like it's documenting, but like if you don't want to document something, I mean, I truly would want to know the percentage of people that go out there and actually document their hunts.
That's a really good point because I think you see a lot of people doing that, of buying the most expensive thing like we talked about before. Like, because I think the reality is, and what people think is like, oh, I'm going to start filming hunts and I'm going to get rich off this.
Exactly.
It's not like,
no.
I'll be straight up and honest. Like we got monetized on YouTube. Yeah. In 28 days, we made $14. Yeah. So you're not going to make a ton of money.
But like, if you're not out to do that, then it doesn't matter. Like if $14 is sick, you didn't have, you just sit at home.
That's 3 gallons of gas.
Like a passion project.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're getting 3 free gallons of gas for a passion project. It's like, heck yeah. Why wouldn't you?
But the thing is, like, if you can't go into it with the mindset, oh, I'm going to make millions of dollars off this. Yeah. You can't, like, you have the hunting public who has a million plus subscribers, right? So like they can put out videos and instantaneously they get thousands of views. Right. So they're making money off that right away. But yet they're a business. They have merch. They have all this kind of stuff. They have other things going on. Yep. When like in reality, you have to realize that you have to have a day job. You have to do all this. Like you can't.
This isn't your only thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like sure, if you wanted to go full tilt and do it, like then do it. Yeah. Like if you really have the ability to do that, then 100% do it. Yeah. But don't think, oh, I'm just going to get into this. I'm going to make millions right off the bat.
That's the way you have to approach everything, though. It's like if you're starting your own business, like, cool, you're going to have to work your tail off in those first few years to like even get to that spot where you can make any money.
Yeah, you're breaking even.
Right. I mean, I think about my dad. Like my dad when he started out, like he was, I'm sure, I'm not like, I don't know this, but I'm sure like in the beginning he was losing money. And then like now you look at it and it's a great business and like there's a lot of things. So with that it's a little bit different because of relationships, but I think with this I don't know. There might be a little bit of similarities.
I think it is because you're still building those relationships. Because like I tell, like I don't give many people advice, put it that way. Yeah. But like you want to build this connection with the viewers, right? Yeah. You want to give them something like, okay, I can relate to this guy. Yeah. Like I think this guy's funny. I liked his personality. You know. Yep. I think that's when you have a good YouTube channel, you have that because like there's one right now, and shout out to them. It's called The Hunting Pressure. Yeah. It took me a little bit to get into their video because it was very choppy. It was like they're talking a lot and I didn't see much happening. Right. Yeah. But then you start watching it, you see them get one deer down, you see them do something that's like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. But then you start building this connection with them. Yeah. Like you need to build that connection. You can't.
100%.
Yes. You're going to get 1,000 views on any kill that you put out. Right. Yeah. If you name it correctly, if you use SEO, if you use all the algorithm correctly, use the hashtags, use all this kind of stuff, you're going to get attention. Right. But will people keep coming back? Yeah. And you've got to keep coming back.
It's relationship building. That's exactly what it is. And I think the personable people goes a long way. Like I think if you're a boring person, if you're a monotone person and you have one thing that like kind of pops off and you're like, oh yeah, cool, like this was good, I guess this works, like I'm gonna keep doing it. If you're somebody that's consistently personable, if you're a person that's consistently like raw. I think that's the best way to say it, because like things are going to go wrong when you're out on a hunt. Like things are going to go wrong. Like, oh, you're going to forget a piece of equipment at home. Like sick, document. Like it's so social media, I think in general is such like everything went perfect. Like everything was perfect. It's like, I value something where I know that I'm not perfect when I go outside. If I leave my water bottle at home, like it's the stupidest things like that. But it's
little
like
things,
the raw emotion, the raw experiences. I think that helps you connect with your viewer a lot more. Because perfect is great. You know, perfect is, everybody wants to strive to be perfect. But if like you're imperfect and you can connect with people, that goes a long way too.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part. Like, because the buck I wasn't able to cover. Like, there were so many things that went wrong that I should have documented. Yeah. But yet also, I was trying not to because of where it happened and where I had to go. Yeah. I didn't want people to know where I was. Yeah. Right. So like that's the struggle with hunting. Like I wish it wasn't like that, where it's like, you know,
giving away spots.
Yeah, like if someone, like having almost 3,000 subscribers. Yeah. Jesus, whiskey's hit me hard.
This whiskey's hitting him hard, ladies and gentlemen.
Having almost 3,000 subscribers, it's like you don't know if that one person hunts the area, right? Yeah. And you have it's one of those things where I weigh back and forth on a lot. It's like, man, I want to put out good content, I want to put out good videos, and I want to show the whole process, but I also don't want to blow out spots. Yeah. And
that's an interesting thing.
It's very hard because like I'm one of those people that's like, okay, it's public land. Like anyone can hunt this. Like anyone can come here any day and hunt this. Like, but yet also it's like the devil on my shoulder is like, I don't want anyone else to hunt this area. Yeah, yeah. But the angels tell me like, dude, it's public, right? So it's you have that seesaw effect of back and forth. It's like, fuck, what do I do? Yeah. And like I think next year, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to film it all, and like if I show too much, I won't put it in.
Edit, yeah,
right. Yeah, like in post, I'll just won't put it in. Yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. Like I feel like I have to start doing that, having that mindset of like, okay, it's public. I'll just go find another area to hunt. Yeah. But as long as I don't give away my like exact coordinates or anything like that, I don't. Sure, people are going to hunt that area, but they have to put as much work as me to find the area or find the bucks that I'm after. Yeah. It's like, I don't know.
Whatever you want to do. And that's, again, that is something that is different.
Very different.
Very different.
We know where your stadiums are.
That's what I'm saying. You can stand on the field and you can look at me the whole time. So like, I think like that's something that is very unique.
For you,
for me. Yeah. Yeah. And I think like, if you're, all respect to you. Honestly, if you post a video and you're like, yeah, I was up on this ridge and you know, the ridge over, I could see the buck over. It's like, if you can spot that, dude, you deserve. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for you, but like, you deserve to be in that.
There are people out there that like, well, one, on my truck, there was the Backcountry PA podcast. People knew where my truck was, so I had to take that off, obviously, because growing, I didn't want people to know what truck I drove. Yeah. But like, there's people out there, dude, that will literally look at you like in a selfie on Instagram. All right. And they can pick out exactly, like, it's crazy.
That's nuts.
It's insane because I tried doing that. I'm like, I have no idea. Yeah. I have no idea. It's like, that looks like a tree that could be anywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, that looks like a tree that could be in Virginia.
Yeah, exactly.
For all I care. Like, it's insane to me that there are those people out there that would rather, and it kind of goes back to society in general. Right. If, like, people who want to take that easy route and, like, oh, this guy got a really nice buck here, right? Yep. So I want to try and find the exact area he's in.
I don't even know how to comprehend that, because it's like, I don't know. There's two schools of thought. It's like people are feeding their families, right? Like you kill something and you put them in the freezer or whatever. All those things. Like there's that side of things, but it's also like almost clout chasing. Like you're trying to be like the person. And 3,000 subscribers isn't something that, you know, you're not at 100K. Nope. But like people still care. People still want to know where you are, what you're doing, like all those things. Like if somebody has 100 subscribers, they're looking at you and they're like, you're the big shot, you're the big fish, you're the one that I want to come after.
They want to find out where you are and what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Yeah. So like that part is unique, and something that I've never really thought about. I mean, you need to touched on that when we talked. I don't know, however long ago, but I don't know. It's just and this is something else that's just intriguing. Like it's a different world and different expectations, you know, not only for you, you know, as a creator, but also like the viewer, expectations of like documenting your hunt in general. It's just a new world. It's a new world.
It's very interesting because like I never really thought of myself as a creator. I never would have seen it as that until I started doing it, and like you start getting subscribers. Like, then you feel like this ounce of pressure. It's like, okay, I got to put videos out, and then you put more pressure on yourself because you put these videos out, you think they're good, and you put them out, they don't get any fucking traction, and it's like, man, like what, how do I get traction now?
Dude,
like, how am I getting like?
It's a slippery slope.
It is.
It's a really slippery slope.
Because I feel like that's when you cross over from just someone who enjoys it, being a creator, being artistic, to wanting to be an influencer. And I don't want to I don't want to like the influencers and creators, and even like just someone who's artistic and just likes doing it for the fun of it. Yeah, there's a big difference there between an influencer and that. Because like you see influencers out there, and they just will do literally whatever it takes
for the content.
Yeah. And it's like, man, like that's I don't want to cross that line.
I know.
You know, so it's like, how do you not do that? Like, that's the biggest question is like, how do you not do that? Because like Ethan and I have bashed on influencers nonstop.
Yeah. That last episode you guys were talking about
that. Yeah.
But I think like it's all comes in moderation, though. I think like it's healthy to
moderation, not like this whiskey.
No, dude, this is pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's already half gone.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see later in this podcast how it changes everything. I think like it's all in moderation. I think that it's healthy. It's a healthy obsession, or it's a healthy thing to be obsessed with, like your own content, like getting better. You know, focusing on your stuff. But it gets a little hairy when you look at, you know, how your content is doing compared to everybody else. Like I have a problem with comparison, and like it maybe goes back to like imposter syndrome, like thinking like, oh, I don't deserve to be here. Like I don't deserve to be making content like at the level that I am. So I think once you get into a spot where you're like, you have 3,000 subscribers, and you're like, I have to, you know, that those first few videos that got all of those subscribers to subscribe. It's like you're looking at the past videos and being like, I have to live up to that level every single time. But then if you don't live up to it, I'm putting up air quotes because I'm like, you're doing the same stuff. They're just not, maybe they're just not getting that same traction, or maybe they didn't go on Instagram for a week. Maybe like me, I didn't go on social media for a month. You can't control that. You know what I mean? There's all these external things that come into play. That change everything. That changes everything. So it's kind of disassociating yourself from the numbers or the views, and just focusing on the content that you're doing, and that if you're getting better, those subscribers are going to come. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're changing your stuff constantly, and if you're constantly innovating, if you're getting a Hero 10, if you're just staying with the Hero 5, and if you're getting 3 Hero 5s and you have 3 different angles and you're doing different stuff and your cuts are more clean and concise and precise, all those things, if you're doing all of those things to make yourself better, those are the healthy obsessions. Yeah. Right? Like that's the stuff that you have to focus on. This whole room, this podcast setup is different from the last time that I was here. And it was different than the last time I was here for that. So it's like focusing on those little wins, I think for everybody in this space is way more important than getting those numbers. Because if you're constantly doing that, the numbers will come. You don't have to worry about that.
I think the biggest thing that I have to do for me personally is like, I've told people this before, like our buddy Alex, all right, he started his own podcast. You know, at the beginning, he was like, "Look, worry about the numbers." I was like, "Dude, don't look at the numbers. As long as you're having fun doing it, that's all that matters." Yeah. And like, I need to take my because like, I look at my dad's video that I put out of him getting a deer. Yeah. 12,000, 13,000, 11,000 views, 4 weeks in 4 weeks. Yeah. So like, I look at that and be like, I got to get those many views on every single video. Right. And it's like, that's not realistic because the time I post, there's so many factors. Like time you posted it, the season that's going on, what you named it, SEO again. Like there's so many things. Like, and the podcasts, like videos, like they don't get a lot of traction, right? Yeah. But like, you know, you look at it, it's like, man, why are these not getting traction? But any YouTuber out there, any person who is making videos out there, hunting videos, you have to realize when you post it, what are people looking for the most?
Yeah.
What are people doing? Like, and that has to be my mindset, because you're 100% right. Like, you can't expect that for every single video. I can't expect 11,000 when I only have 3,000 subscribers.
I know.
You can't expect that.
But those at the same time too, it's like that is some sort of validation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at your stuff and there's, 142 views.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have fun doing that? Did you enjoy that? Did you like the conversation that you were having? That was episode 229.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a milestone. Like all those things. 44 views, 64, and then all of a sudden you have an 11,000 views. It's like you were consistent doing that, and one happens to pop off. Like sick. If you're having none that pop off, and you're having 51 views or 103 views, like this is very vulnerable. Like you're showing all those things. Like you are what your numbers say you are, whatever. But then you have something that pops off like that. Like that shows that that's possible no matter what you're doing. If it's different, if it's the same, whatever it is, it's the consistency at which you're doing it that will set you up for success.
Yeah.
And I think like, I don't know, if you take a step back, it's like, yeah, no doubt, like for sure, I'm just going to keep doing the same thing I'm doing. But if it's not working, then I should do something different, and I should change things, and I should do that. It's like, cool, innovate, change.
Yeah, change
That's not a bad thing to do, but it's also bad to just stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because then that's when you're cool. You're like, you win.
And I see, I did this study. I forget. I didn't do a study. Why would I say that?
Research.
Why would I ever study?
Big research guy.
Why would I? Big research guy here. But like, so I researched it a little bit because I wanted to be like, we have 230 episodes out, right? So like, I'll be like, man, that's 6 years of podcast.
Yeah.
What's the average number? And I think it was like 2% or 20% of podcasts make it.
Yeah.
Right? They continue to do it.
Yeah.
Like most podcasts, they'll quit after 50 episodes if they're really into it.
Yeah.
Like to see that for me, it's like, man, like I guess if you just put more effort in, like just if you really, the thing is like you can't just, like you said, you just can't quit just because you're only seeing 23, 118, 11,000, 42, 150. Like you can't just stop. Like the video podcasts, I'll be honest, like they're not anything. Like they're like,
but
the
those
most
42
we got,
viewers,
like 200.
People watch that. Those 42 viewers are probably watching the one that's 103. They're probably watching the one that's I don't know, 118. They're watching all those things, and I think like that's important because that's your core.
Yeah, I mean, another thing that I've always, it's very hard to take your own advice, right? Like you 100%. Give other people advice all you want, but then you can't like give yourself that own advice. You 100%. Need someone else to say that to you, to be like, okay, that makes sense. Right, humble yourself.
Yeah.
So like, I've said this from the very beginning of like, okay, like people like, I don't know why people ask me for advice on how to grow or how to do this kind of stuff because like, I'm just.
You don't know.
I'm just doing it. I don't know.
100%. 100%.
But like
consistency though, like that's the smallest.
I've always told people like, listen, if you have 20 views or you have 20 listens on a podcast, you have 20 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's you put 20 people in the room with you.
Yeah.
And all those people want to know you.
Want to watch you, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like that's more friends than I have. Like, I put
11,000 people. But that's a small state. That is the giant center, brother.
Yeah. If I put 5,000 people in 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
In a room.
Yeah.
I put 3,000 subscribers in a room.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. I would be overwhelmed. Yeah. I don't think I'd want to be there.
No, you would not want to be there.
I don't want to be there.
No.
Because all attention is on me. So like, smallest video on this screen right now is 23 views. Yeah. I have 23 views, 23 people in this room watching us right now.
Yeah.
One, this room is not big enough for 23 people.
It's a small, so like packed.
You have 23 people in this
room.
That's a lot of people, right? That's 22 more people
than I'm comfortable with. Jess was sitting there and I was comfortable. I was like, all right, I got to make content for her.
So, and I know Jess doesn't watch this.
Yeah.
So like at the very beginning, she was watching. Like she wasn't watching this; she was listening to the podcast, right?
Yeah.
But like, to take your own advice on that kind of stuff, it's not realistic at all. You need to hear from someone else. So this is me telling everyone who's listening to this or watching this right now, look at your views and look at the room you're in and see if 23 people, 50 people, whatever, 10 people would fit in that room.
Yeah.
How would you feel about that?
Yeah. And
I would feel fucking important if there was 22 people sitting in this room right now.
There would be people all around us.
There would be people sitting on this table right now.
Had to. At least 3.
At least 3 people just sit on the table. But like that's it. And then you go. I don't even know where we were going with that.
The bird dog's taking us, brother.
The bird dog is taking us.
Buckle up.
So like, but that's the evolution of getting into creation, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to start at the very fucking bottom.
Yeah.
Like there's 100% of ways to buy views, buy subscribers.
That's another wild world.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get, like, why would you want to?
Validation though. That's the confirmation of like, cool, I'm doing something cool. I'm making content. That's for like the Instagram OnlyFans models that are trying to like validate themselves.
Can we just also talk about like the random OnlyFans people that
just follow you? Yes.
Just like your
block
picture.
And report.
One,
immediate.
I have a wife and
a daughter.
And you
have a whole ass family.
It's true. I have a daughter too.
You do. Oh no, he doesn't have a daughter. He doesn't have a daughter.
But like, you like a picture that my wife is tagged in.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Block and report.
Yeah, I
block and report.
Instantaneously block. I'm like, this is just you can't be going around doing that.
Yeah, get out of here.
Like, and then the bots on Instagram, man, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't stand it. Like all these OnlyFans bots, and it's like, man, why you follow me?
I'll click on the profile, but then I'll be like, all right, cool, it's fake.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you click on the link. I'm
no,
like, oh,
no, Linktree, heck no, heck no. Well, Linktree, what is this? No, I've never.
I have a Linktree in art. Should I not be using Linktree?
No,
anymore?
use Linktree. Linktree.
Okay.
But I think a lot of those females use that. Females, women. Sorry.
Yeah.
Respect.
Females, women. I don't think those OnlyFans deserve respect.
That's a good point. Yeah, they don't respect themselves, so it's fair. We have to.
Where are we going here?
What else you got on that list there, bro?
But okay, so back to paying for views.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I think if you're paying for views, you're 100% trying to be the rich quick thing. Like you're trying to show a company that you have so many views, and that's why they should hire you.
Yeah.
Or pay you. Now, I'm going to be completely honest right now because we're in talks with a company right now that could be a title sponsor. So the realistic thing is there's so many podcasts, there's so many YouTube channels that, and this isn't just hunting related. There's the YouTube podcast realm is so saturated.
It's saturated,
like it's if you're not a Joe Rogan, if you're not a Steve Rennell, a meat eater, if you're not a You Betcha guy, if you're not, look. The list goes on and on right now.
Brother.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Right? If you're not a top tier famous person, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to make it rich by being a sponsored by a company.
At least when you start out. Like I think like all those people, they had a platform before they even started podcasting. So I think like that's also the comparison route that I was saying. It's like the people that made a podcast from ground zero and that like actually made it. Like Joe Rogan, obviously, absolutely like goes hard, grinds it out, does all those things. You don't know the people that he has behind the scenes. You don't know the people like in those first few episodes, things probably went wrong. Things happened, and like now he's in like his well-oiled machine type phase, right? Like he's good. He has all the people that he has. Like he can set up anywhere. He can do all those things. It's like this is such a unique opportunity, like with technology now, that you can just do this wherever. Like you don't have to have like some sort of boundaries. Like you can take the Zoom recorder out with 2 microphones. No, you don't need anything. You can do a podcast in the woods if you want.
Yeah,
like all of those things, I think is could be limiting, but I think it's at the same time, if you compare yourself to a bigger a bigger place. Like you're shooting for the stars, and hopefully you just, or you're shooting for the moon, but hopefully you land in the stars. Like all those cliches.
That was wow.
Cliches type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like just whatever.
That was motivation.
That first one was free. But like all of those things that you do. Obviously it's good to shoot for something high and have those big expectations for yourself, but it's also at the same time, it's like, look at what you have to work with now. It's not a knock. It's not a knock on anything, but it's like you started out in this shed, bro. Like, and you made it what it is. And I think like that's the type of stuff that, it's a stepping stone, right? Like that's how you work up the ladder. That's how you get to Joe Rogan. That's how you have these big guests. That's how you have consistency though. Yep. Right. Like you can consistently do those things. And, I don't know where we were going with the whole thing, but like, I think like it just goes back to the fact that like the whole podcasting world, it is saturated. And I think like finding your niche in all of that is important.
Yeah. I mean, once you got to find something that you're comfortable with not making any money on. Yeah. Like if you're happy doing what you're doing. Yes. If you're happy putting content out there, if you're happy, doing whatever you're doing, really, just enjoy it, because I think that's the biggest thing that I've personally taken away from literally everyone who I've talked to is like, just as long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. Like this podcast right now, I don't know how this relates at all to hunting, but it's going to be put out because
we'll talk about hunting.
Like it's just like
it's a life episode.
Yeah, it's relatable, and I think, I mean, I don't know. I just think you gotta just enjoy it and keep going and. Don't quit, because, man, I've seen so many podcasts quit that had so much potential. Yeah. And, like, I personally, like, I look at them and be like, oh, that's a threat. Like, those people right there are a threat, because I know that if they kept going, they could be really fucking good. Yeah. Yeah. Right? And, like, I've looked them up. Like, I don't follow those accounts because, like, it puts no pressure on me. So, like, I don't follow them because I'm like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to deal with it, because I know that I'm going to try and live up to that person or how they're doing it, right? Yeah. I'm going to incorporate that podcast in this podcast, and that's not what I want to do. Yeah. So, like, I stopped following them. I stopped listening. I just cut them off. Like, they're not even existent. But then, once in a while, it's like, I haven't seen this. Like, I haven't seen anyone being tagged in this. Like, I follow a lot of good hunters. Why are they not being tagged in anything that they do? Right. You go find that they haven't posted anything or done a podcast or posted a YouTube video in like how long. It's like, dude, like you could have been really freaking good if you put so much hard work in for from like September or like and for like February, March time frame to like August, then you just like stopped.
Yeah, ghost.
And then like you haven't posted anything, you haven't posted a picture, you haven't done anything. It's like, dude, you could have been so good. Like I don't dislike those podcasts, put it that way. Like, I'm jealous of them because, like, man, it's like they do really good stuff, right? Right. And I want to, like, deep down, I want to see them succeed, but then deep down, I'm also like, I hope you fucking fail. Like, it's the reality. Like, you don't want to see blatant, honest truth. Like, you don't want to see someone else succeed when you're doing the same thing that they're doing.
I know. Yeah. And that's like, again, though, I think that's the slippery slope of, comparison. I think that's a slippery slope of
100%
just this space in general.
I think that's a slippery slope of just life.
Yeah.
You look at someone else, like, you can see someone else be like, oh man, they have just everything going on for them, right? Yeah. And you look at it, it's like, man, like, I fucking hate you. Yeah. Like, right off the bat, you just say, I fucking hate you.
Yeah. I think I'm going to be the king of cliches. I think that's going to be my title. It's like comparison is the thief of joy. Mm-hmm. It's like if you're constantly looking at other people and if you're constantly looking at, things that they're doing and you're comparing yourself, you're losing that joy of being like, cool, I achieved this. I did this.
No, you're very true. Very right.
And I think like those things, I don't know who told me that. And like who like kind of put that in my brain, but I think like
David Goggins, huh, probably.
Well, that's a whole other story. It's a whole different podcast. Literally and figuratively.
A whole other podcast.
I think like those things are paramount because I think there's, like you were saying, there's so much saturation in space. And I think if you're constantly looking at other people and you're like, oh, but they're doing this, I'm not doing that. It's like, cool, but what are you doing differently than they are?
No.
Those things that they're doing different, it's cool. That can attract a different viewer in a a different way. I'm excited to see some of this content here. I don't know. You said you gotta.
Trying to go right to this right away.
Not right away. No. I mean, brother, we've been going for what?
I don't know how long we've been going, to be honest.
An hour. Bro, we've been talking for an hour.
An hour.
That time evaporated.
Okay, so
That time evaporated.
okay, let's go. Let me see here.
What you say? What did you say?
Listen, let me see here.
Oh, I don't know what you said.
All right, so we kind of went the
French.
must have for self filmers. You need multiple batteries for your GoPro, no matter what. Like I would recommend the Enduro ones. So these Enduro ones, when it gets below like 20 degrees, 30 degrees, they'll last longer. All right.
Okay.
So this here is just a regular GoPro battery. The blue one here, regular GoPro. Enduro is white. You need now these are for a GoPro 10, which I would recommend honestly because I bought this for $144, the GoPro 10.
Really?
Yeah.
What are they on? What level are they on now? What number are they on?
They're on like 13.
Okay.
So I mean, shoots in 4K, shoots everything. Like, and then I bought the mod, which is this kit right here. So this mod goes on it. Now it uses more battery life for this, but the one thing that I never realized when I was looking at the GoPro 10 in general, it has a plug in the back here for an external mic.
Oh, sick.
It has a plug for a charger as well.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know what this one's for, but it looks like it's for to export stuff from
SD cards or something.
Yep. So you have all that. I mean, you have, even if you don't want to run another mic on the outside, you have a shotgun mic built onto the actual mod itself.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, I mean, it's solid. I would recommend, if you're going GoPro 10, go that way. If you want to run a lavalier or lapel mic, whatever you want to call it, I bought the Comica. It's a decent brand, not the most expensive one you're ever going to find, but you have this that will actually hook onto the GoPro itself. So you can put it right on top right there. Uh-huh. And then you have these here where Danny can put one on himself. I could put one on myself, or you can put it like literally right on the mic right here somewhere.
Probably put it like...
And you would have that right there. So as you can see on top there, you can see the levels. So you could be recording right now. And the battery says full stereo. I mean, volume.
Put that on the lip of your hat even.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
like on the side of your hat, top
if
of your
I would
hat.
put it right here.
Yeah.
Or even, I think the better thing would be
like
put
that
it on the bottom here.
Yeah.
So
that's not like that like tearing from anything.
And you still have it right there.
Yeah. I mean, I think like these things are very whatever you want to do because I have these for like a side business that I have. And you can plug, I don't know if you can plug on this one. There's like usually like a, like that. Like a little port that you can plug in an XLR or like not XLR. So this is a lapel mic, but you can use them as a lav. So you can hook that on your belt, and then you can plug something in, so then you can have like a mic on the inside of their lapel, or lav, whatever. Terminology is a little bit fuzzy right now, but I think like I have Rode. It's Rode mics.
Yep, the Rode mics are good.
Rode Wireless Go 2. That's something. It's a much bigger. It's like a box.
It's a boxier thing. Yep.
It's a box, so it's not as they're not as thin profile as these, which I like this style. It's much thinner. It's not as like intrusive if you're a viewer and you're watching and there's just a box on your helmet on your hat. Or on your collar if it's like pulling your collar down. This is something that would work a little bit better.
The best thing to do for that, if you have a binder harness, you put it on like there's usually a little flap up on top. You can put that on there, or put it on like the little side pocket, whatever. But that would be the ideal place to do it because like then you just have to check your levels to make sure you're actually being recorded, right? Because that's the biggest thing. Like even with running that shotgun mic there, which is a new shotgun mic, you got to make sure that thing's turned on. Before you start recording, like
syncing everything, right? 100%.
So you got to do that, and then also for these here, you got to make sure it's recording as well. So like, whatever. My biggest takeaway, I talked to Nick Queen, and he was like, "Whatever, run your lavalier lapel mics on whatever you're going to talk to the most. So if you're going to have that camera on you the most and talking to that, run on that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to have this as your second angle and you're going to have that GoPro facing and you're going to be talking that the most, run it on that. Because, like, even if that's running, you can, if this audio is better, you can still use the audio of that.
Yeah.
So it pays to have that kind of technology and use that stuff.
100%.
So it's
this mod is dope.
Yeah, it's brand new. So I mean,
how do you
pull down?
You just pull down on that?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I feel like I'm gonna break it. Go ahead, dude. You do it. Oh, no doubt. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, so then you have an Enduro mic or Enduro battery already in it. This is nice. We only have a Hero 8.
Okay.
At the Bucks, we don't have a Hero 10.
Really? That's very interesting to me. Why would that have to have the newest one?
I don't know. We
you don't use it much or what?
No, not too much. We don't use the GoPros that much. We got an Insta360 recently.
I like those.
Those are something that's pretty cool too. That could set you apart. You can have it similar to a situation like this.
Mm-hmm.
You can just put that on, a strap if you have a backpack on or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it records. You can have
everything.
a globe. You can have it's a full 360 cam. So like your head cannot be in it, and if like you want to have your face, you want to have a side profile, whatever, you can put it on something. It could spin to that in post. You can have that shot. You can have it spin the opposite way. So like even if the camera is here, this isn't a blind spot. Like this can still be in the camera.
It's all over, and you're if it's really close to you, your face can look like a cone.
You could, but you don't have to have that too. You
Cone
can do
face.
some depress or decompress. Right. It's cool stuff. And I think like all of these things though, I think are unique to the person that's making the content.
Yep.
I think like that's what sets it apart.
Yep.
And we talked about this, quite a while ago. But it's like if you want to invest in something like this, invest.
Yeah.
Make it happen. But you don't need it.
Yep.
You have this. You always have your cell phone.
You always have your phone. And then another thing is SD card. So you don't want to go the cheap route with an SD card. Like this one here is a SanDisk image more. So this would be better for like a trail camera. But the one I run in my GoPro is a SanDisk Extra Plus 128 gig V30. So that can record better video.
Yeah, V90 is like
V90 is
expensive.
I can't find them.
Very expensive. I don't know if they make them in micro SDs.
Yeah.
These micro SDs can run in these. I'm pretty sure. Do they run to micro SDs?
The micro SD? Yeah, that's the 128 I run in this.
You run in that. Okay.
Yep.
So they run in those. 128s are a little bit more expensive. Like I wonder. I'm not going to ask you how much you pay for that, but like those are a little bit more expensive.
How much I pay for that?
Probably like 60 or maybe
No,
I don't know
128.
128s.
I think it was like maybe like 15.
Oh, okay. Well, so like V90s maybe you'll pay for a little bit more. That's just like a higher read.
I found a V. Was a V60 for like 41.
Yeah. So like I feel like you.
But it was also a 512 gigabyte.
Got it. So like
much bigger.
Yeah. I mean, like you can bounce around, but I think they're all like it records, it reads, it writes.
Yep.
At the end of the day, like
just don't go cheap. Like for this audio right now, we're running a 64 gig on SD card. So that's a Walmart brand SD card. Do not go that route.
Yeah.
Make sure you buy a good SD card because you will run into problems.
100%.
Like you want something that's high quality. Like if you buy an expensive camera, if you buy a camera in general, you want to make sure that you have a good SD card.
Yeah, and I think like those things, like everything else that we've been talking about, if you want to invest in your gear, you're going to invest in your gear.
Yes. Yeah. That's one thing. Like I think I ran a 64 gig in this camera when I first got it. And it was like one that was like kind of on the border. And I was like, luckily I got it pulled out of there.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to upgrade to like, I put 128 in that one now. And it's fine. But I'd like to get a 512 for that. I'd like to get a 512 for this. So like, say I'm walking through the woods and I want to do just time lapse. Or just record the whole freaking time.
You have the whole, you can do whatever you want.
Record it.
Yeah, you have whatever you want.
So like, and then I can put the 128 in this one.
Yeah.
Like if I rifle, I have all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of options, but make sure don't cheap out on SD cards. Like whatever you do, that's one thing. Do not cheap out on SD cards. External hard drives, buy a good one.
Yeah.
The ones I have are the WD.
WD, Western Digital.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I have
Those are
two
good
of them. One for just podcasts, one for just hunting videos. So and they're 2 terabytes.
2 terabytes.
So make sure you buy a good external hard drive, buy good SD cards. Whatever you want to buy, you can buy for camera wise. But yeah, just SD cards and external hard drives is the most important thing, I think.
100%.
100%. So now, after that, whatever we just talked about.
Dude, we talked about for an hour and 11 minutes.
About some shit. I don't even know what we're talking about.
We'll see in the edit.
So now we are going to, there's a video from In the Presence that just dropped tonight.
Okay.
As we're recording this, it is February 8th. We're going to watch it. We're going to watch it from start to finish.
I can't wait.
And we're going to give our honest feedback of it.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching some of his videos. I feel like it kind of took, I think the reason it kind of took a hit for me is because of what he even said in the podcast when we did the self-filming series.
Yeah.
People are trying to, stealing spots, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that plays a big role in how you edit things when you start seeing that, especially with they have 25,000.
Yeah.
Like a lot more than 3,000. So when you start seeing that, it kind of it's like, man, like I'm going to pull back a little bit and not put as much in.
Right.
Right?
It's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.